don't really want to win me. You come to a check ID.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rinse. And of course, I am your host, you ultimate sign of enmity, never duplicated. Superstar Tim Vicious and go Raw Sweet. Not Raw, God damn it. Gonna go over to Royal Rumble, was in San Antonio, Texas, and god damn, this was one hell of a good show. I fucking loved it. So with that said, let's get right into it. We started off with the Men's Rumble right at the start, and I'm gonna say right now, I thoroughly enjoyed this. It was a damn good one. A lot of people were mad because of the fact that there wasn't a lot of surprise entries, and it was just like, oh, no surprise entries, what the hell, blah, 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 blah. Okay, time out right there. First off, the fact that there is lack of surprise entries and that they used the people that they had on their roster was a hell of a good sign, because that just shows right there that their roster is, that they got a good loaded roster that's ready, that's there. They don't need to call someone. They don't need to call somebody that was in the company like 5 or 10 years ago to say, hey, you want to come in for a one-off? And not only that, and let's just say for the hell of it, if they did, 10 gets you 20, that those same people that are complaining that there's no surprise entries, that somebody that hasn't been in the company for 5 to 10 years wasn't in the Rumble for a one-off. If they did, they would complain saying, oh, why are they giving this person that spot? Why didn't they just use the people in their own roster? Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, damn good match. I thought it was different to see the Rumble start the show, but dude, I was all for it. I dug it. Gunther and Sheamus started out, and then and then as it picked up, at one point Karrion Kross got in, and then just saw Kross and Gunther just lock horns and stare down at each other, and my first thought was, okay, yep. Shoot that right into my vein, right there. Shoot that into my veins, like God. Now, unfortunately, we'll say this: the quote-unquote Kofi spot, as I typically call it. Well, Kofi apparently, his Kofi spot did not go as planned, so it seems. He landed, but his foot didn't, well, it looked like his foot was supposed to land on a chair, but apparently, I don't know. But either way, they said, yeah, he's out. So, but then at one point when Brock Lesnar came in, and now I'll say this also. Drew McIntyre came in, and when Drew came in, him and Sheamus, them two were like back to back, like if it was a bar fight, like, alright, yeah, I watch yours, you watch mine. At the end, loser buys beers. When it comes down to you and me, loser buys the beers. And it looked like that kind of a partnership. And when Brock Lesnar came in, man, Brock Lesnar was tossing everyone around. Like suplex, and just hitting everyone. And then at one point, again, Brock Lesnar, Gunther. That stare down, it was just like you could actually hear all the air leave the room, like, oh my God. Eventually, though, Brock Lesnar, he got eliminated by Bobby Lashley, and probably my favorite elimination from the Rumble, hands down, was Elias, because as quick as he came in, he was out. Didn't beat the Bushwhackers record, though. He was in there for 9 seconds. But either way, Rey Mysterio mysteriously did not show up. He was number 17, I think. Didn't come out. And then number 18's number came up, and it was Dominic. He came out wearing a Rey mask, ripping it up. mocking dad, that kind of stuff. And then at one point, Edge was one of the few surprises. And he came out completely decimated Judgment Day. He took out Priest, he took out Balor, he was getting ready to go and take out Dominic until Judgment Day came back, and then they actually forced Edge out in an elimination, and technically it counts. There's no disqualification. There's no rules saying that that can't happen. Another surprise entry, and this one I cannot say I liked whatsoever, was the self-glorified walking douche nozzle. That is Logan Paul. Joy, oh fucking joy. Yeah. He was number 29. Cody was number 30, and man, that pop was huge for Cody when it hit. The final four was Cody, Theory, Gunther, and Logan Paul, but he was under the ring for a good bit, so everyone forgot about him for a minute, and then it looked like it was going to be Seth. So at one point it looked like it was Seth. Gunther wound up tossing out Seth, and then Theory wound up taking out, and then Theory was sorry, I'm getting myself confused. God damn it. Theory then wound up taking out Rollins, and then Logan Paul. Cody was then threw out Paul, which, thank the gods, and man, that pop was huge. And then at the end, it was one-on-one between Gunther and Cody. And now, like I said, Gunther, he started out number 1. He already set the record. He set the record for longest entry in the Rumble for over 1 hour. Over 1 hour, 9 minutes, I think. And not only that, they also said on commentary it's the first time in Rumble history that number 1 and number 30 clashed off with each other at the end. And we basically got ourselves a little one-on-one match between them two at the end. It wasn't like both trying to do quick eliminations. No, them two were actually fucking going like it was a damn match, and holy shit was it fucking good. At the end, Cody wound up getting the win. He did the crossroads and then did a clothesline to toss Gunther over. As much as I'm happy to see Cody win, he won. He's now punched his ticket. He's going for the title shot at WrestleMania. Really glad and happy for him. However, Gunther wound up, he got made. You know, to put it simple. He got made. He's a made man now. You know, he fucking did an Iron Man. He was the fucking Iron Man. And it's not like he did an hour and then spent a large portion sitting in the corner or ducking out under the ring or not. No, he was in there and he fucking worked non-fucking stop. And just, wow. Yeah, that's all I got to say on that. Wow. With that said, next up was LA Knight versus Bray Wyatt in the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match, and yeah, this was something. Well, they did it all in UV lights, which thank God all the UV lights were focused on the ring, because I guarantee if they would have had it on any of the fans, it would have lit up like a black light. Would have lit up like a strip club or a crime scene. That's all I'm gonna say, because you got that many adult males and prepubescent teenagers at the show watching that. Just yeah, leave that to your imagination. I'm not gonna go into detail any further. That's disgusting. But yeah, Bray Wyatt was pretty much dominating the match, and honestly, I don't know. It didn't. Maybe it's because this took place right after the Rumble, and the Rumble was such a damn good match. it was, oh, ooh, yeah. Either way, Bray Wyatt got the win by doing a Sister Abigail, and then afterwards he started chasing. There was a little chase that ensued out into the crowd, and then over to a balcony, and then Uncle Howdy was above, and Bray Wyatt was down here, and then Uncle Howdy jumped, and then wham, landed on top of LA Knight, and then whoosh, big pyro, and it was just, yeah. Next up, we got women's action. Little Miss Alexa Bliss going against Bianca Belair. And whoo, oh boy. Damn good match. Bliss, she was leading at the start of it. It was really quick paced. It felt like the match could have gone on an extra 10 to 15 minutes, but for time constraints, I understand why it didn't. But it was a decent match. Bianca got the win by countering a Sister Abigail into a KOD. Got the 1-2-3. Yeah. They announced on Monday night that that at the Elimination Chamber, which is in 2 weeks, the women's Elimination Chamber match is going to determine who challenges for that women's championship. So either way, next up now we get to the Women's Royal Rumble. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan were number 1 and 2 respectively, and now like I said, Men's Rumble didn't have that many surprise entries. Women's Rumble, a handful of NXT. Really, that was pretty much it. They had Roxanne Perez, Zoe Stark for surprise entry from NXT. At one point, Michelle McCool, who was sitting behind the announcers with her daughters, she was just sitting there. Next thing you know, the number rang, the buzzer rang, her music played, and I thought the way she played it out was beautiful. She's just like, wait, what? And then looks at her kids like, what? Should I? And like, oh, okay, hops over, takes off her coat, and then just starts going in there working like, wow, okay, cool. I thought that way played out was cool. But yeah. Honestly, that Damage Control, Bailey, Io, and Dakota, they wound up pretty much owning the Rumble for a good portion of it, to getting a total of like 7 eliminations. They isolated Becky at one point and specifically eliminated her, which then following night on Monday, Bailey then confronted Bailey and Becky, had a little confrontation, a little bit of a back and forth chatter, and then they officially announced that excuse me, next week they're going to have their steel cage match again. And possibly the best surprise entry that I saw in there. And I may be a bit biased, but my personal favorite for surprise entry was the return of Asuka. But not just any Asuka, I may add. No. She came back with the evil clown Kana. And it was just like, all I'm saying is thank the gods that thank the gods Wade was watching with me. Otherwise, and he was certified on how to use a defibrillator. Otherwise, I don't think I would have survived. Now, Dewdrop came back. However, she no longer is going by the Dewdrop name. She's now back to her name as Piper Niven. Chelsea Green is officially back with the company as well now. Just as soon as she got in, she was out. She now sets the record for shortest time in a Women's Rumble match. She was quick in and out. When Zelina Vega came out, it was really cool because she came out all geared up like one of the characters from Street Fighter 6, and they officially announced that she's going to be one of the commentators in the Street Fighter 6 game, which I think that's really cool, especially given that she's such a hardcore gamer. And Then her and Xia Li actually had a little pose off and a little Street Fighter sequence on the ring apron, and the gamer in me kind of had chuckled and thought, that's fucking cool. That is cool. And for anyone that wanted to go and shit on that, I guarantee if they would have done that in AEW or on some little mom and pop independent show, and it got put out there on the internet, everyone would be like, oh my god, that's so cool. Yeah. But, yeah, that's me. Indy Hartwell was also a surprise entry, which was cool to see. And number 30, which, yeah, was the return of Nia Jax. Nia came out, she got in the ring, was like, yeah, now what, huh? Looking all, trying to puff her chest out, act all big and bad, and then literally all the girls surrounded her. And she's like, yeah. And then, boom, they all wind up doing a big old roll-on on her. The final four was Rhea Ripley, Nikki Cross, Asuka, and Liv Morgan. Nikki was out, and then Asuka was, and on how Asuka came to be was, it was Asuka, Rhea, and Liv were all fighting on the apron. Asuka went to go and hit Rhea with the mist. Rhea ducked, hit Liv with it, and then as Rhea got up, boom, tossed Asuka over. And then Liv, while she's blind, just starts swinging wild. Rhea's then holding on to the ropes, dangling for dear life, and then uses her legs to go and head scissor Liv off the apron, so Liv Morgan is out, and your winner is Rhea Ripley. Rhea also set a new record for longest entry in the Rumble. For Women's Rumble, I may add, for 1 hour, 1 minute, I think they said. Also, she's the first woman in the books to be entry number 1 and win. Rhea called her shot and said she's challenging Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania. So, like I said, at Elimination Chamber, number 1, the Women's Chamber match is going to determine who challenges Bianca for the Raw Women's title. They announced the 4 is going to be Asuka, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Nikki Cross. They're also going to have contender spots for the other 2 slots over next week. And yeah. So now we get to main event of the night. Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship. And Roman, he wound up bleeding at the start. Really good, solid back and forth fighting. Just, oh man, it was great. Now, Roman, he had Paul Heyman and Sami by his side. And it was really cool to see. Really great match. And at one point there was a ref bump there was a ref bump. Roman looks at Sami. Get the chair. You told me not to do nothing. I'm not doing nothing. No, I'm telling you to get the chair. Get the damn chair. So Sami goes. He gets a chair. He goes over to the timekeeper's area. Can't find a chair. Then goes back. Then goes and looks under the apron. You hear Paul Heyman yelling at him. Oy vey, the tribal chief asked you to get him a chair. You get him a chair. And then he gets one just as he gets it in. Owens then, boom, pops a stunner. And, man, I tell you, that's the quickest I've ever seen a ref recover from a ref bump that quick, because he didn't do like the 1, 2, 3, kind of, I'm half out of it kind. No, it was, oh, hey, I'm back. 1, 2, oh, and a kick out. 2, Called it. Yeah. But then at one point, Roman just slams KO's head into the stairs, into the ring stairs, and not in a very forgiving way. And I'm like, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, that had to fucking hurt. Ow. Ow. Yeah. And then he just straight up pancaked him and just beat the living tar out of him. Match came to an end when Roman wound up popping a spear on him, 1, 2, 3. And then afterwards, the rest of the family came out, and then the whole bloodline beat the living crap out of KO. And then Roman looks at Heyman. Wise man. Yes, my tribal chief. Give me the handcuffs. Of course, my tribal chief. When my tribal chief wants handcuffs, I provide handcuffs. That's a sentence that could be taken 100 different ways. Most of them inappropriate. And then they cuff Owens to the rope. He's just like, out of it like that. Usos throw a couple super kicks at him. And then Roman, he gets the chair. He's winding up, getting ready to go take the swing. Sami then, whoa. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do this. The message has been sent. You don't need to do this. And Roman's like, I don't need to do this? No. All right. Hands in the chair. You do it. Well, no. You do it. No, and then Roman gets in his face like he's coming down on him like a DI yelling at a recruit. I told you to do this. Now pick up that damn chair and swing it at his sorry ass. So Sami, he's got the chair, and then whack, cracks Roman with it, and it's just like, and then everyone just stops like, do you realize what you just did? Jimmy winds up going, and Jimmy and Solo and Roman start proceeding to beat the living hell out of Sami. Jay's just like, I can't, and then walks off. I can't do this. I'm out. And then the show ends with Sami and Kevin Owens knocked out in the ring. So, personal prediction, maybe you could chalk it up to maybe fantasy booking or whatever. I just say it's my personal prediction. I think we're probably going to have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn going against the Usos at WrestleMania for the tag titles, and honestly, I would not mind that because, well, if they won, oh man, that would just be so fucking sweet. Yeah. So, with that said, that is it for this week's show. So, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter at TimVicious. So thank you to my executive producer, Ali Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, all that good shit. Details are down below. Also, thank you to contributor of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, do not forget to check out whatamaneuver.net for some vicious rants apparel. Help support the show. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Perfect Valentine's Day gift for somebody that you love. Perfect gift for somebody that you hate. Or a perfect thing to buy to just to go give to Goodwill so that way you can say, hey, I did something charitable.
I'm James Harden with the
Also, do not forget to follow these cool ass cats right on the Twitter. DSB_I or Kenny Killer DSB_IV. Fuck, I ain't doing right today. Diabolical RA, Sergeant Curry Pants and Dubs in your face. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great. If you hate me, fuck you.